Marvel Age Star Wars Special Show and Tell Edition.
Hey everybody,
I'm Sean, this is Brooks.
what is up? We got some stuff to show you. Do you want me to go first? Do you want
Yeah,
to go first?
you go first this time.
Okay, cool. Let me switch to my fuller screen. I brought out the first Star Wars comic I ever bought when I was a kid. I had comics before this that I guess someone and my parents gave me or something, but this is the first one I went and bought myself at a newsstand and picked out. It's Star Wars 94.
Ooh.
And this is the actual one I had. So that's cool. I also got 95 right after that. I wanted to show this because, gosh,
Maya.
yeah, well, it's a very cool issue, but I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. Can you see the expert level restoration work I did on this? I restapled it because the original staples came out, so I stapled it myself.
Just straight through.
That is some high grade restoration work. I dare
That's
any
good.
grading company to spot that.
I had some comics from when I was a kid where there's just no back cover at all because there was something on the back cover that I liked and I just ripped it off.
I recently picked up a actual nicer grade copy of the same one. It's interesting to me that, and this is just a printing thing, I think, but there's like a clear difference in darkness between the two issues. Like the recent one is way darker than this one is. Anyway, I also brought
That's
out
cool.
some action figures that are still carded, vintage action figures. If you guys are into that, here's the Jawa, Return of the Jedi.
Oh, that's cool.
Still carded on his card. Gosh, I cannot do this camera business. Da 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 da
It's
da
a,
da
it's a problem for video.
da da da. He's pretty cool. He's in really nice shape. This one's in just gorgeous shape. This Stormtrooper. I got this at Dragon Con and I paid $75 for it like
Oh my god.
10 years
That's
ago.
cool though. Is
10
that the Return of the Jedi one too?
Yep, dude. And Greg was there. Greg from the TV Ate My Dinner, and you'll see him on our Mandalorian shows. And he gave me the hardest time for buying this. He was like, "What are you, $75? What are you, crazy?" I'm like, "Man, you spent more than that at dinner today." You let me
Not
have.
Greg. No, that may not be true.
Oh, he spends
Greg
a lot of money eating out.
Greg's a real spendthrift when you're going out, man. He was the one to always want to sit on the floor and eat Pizza Hut at the
Well,
food court. Like, I'm on vacation, Greg. I'm not sitting on a floor. We're in downtown Atlanta.
this
Going
one's
to a
cool
restaurant
too
that has beer.
because it has the Emperor offer on there. I don't know if you can see it.
I could swear I had the Emperor at one point, but I don't.
Oh,
I
I
don't
have
now.
him. And I think I got him from this offer. I don't remember him being on a card, so I guess you had to get
You
him on the
cut that
offer.
up
Not
after paying $75 for it?
not on this card, fool. But when I was a kid,
be-
yeah.
That'd be an amazing stories kind of episode if you sent that in and you could still get it.
I did all the offers I could do back then.
That's pretty cool.
Here's
I do have the
Vader.
Anakin Skywalker, the Jedi
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, I did that one too. I mailed in
He
that
was
one.
a send-in kind of deal, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm. But I think they released him later on a card for the Power of the
Oh.
Force line or whatever. But I don't
The
think
one
they
I
ever
bought
did.
was out of the off the card, so I don't
Well,
know
that's what I did
version.
too. We got the mail away version. Here's Vader. His bubble's turning a little. God, I'm sorry, guys. I suck at this so bad. His bubble's turning a little yellow, which is a bummer. But that's what happens. So there's Vader. Yeah, nice. Here's one of my
pretty cool.
absolute favorites. It's Wicket. Look how cute and little he
I
is.
never had Wicket. I had Chief Chirpa, but I never had Wicket. Wicket is a cute little figure.
He's such a
like the
cute
Yoda.
figure. Yeah, and I love it. I don't know why, but I love the card design. I love the picture. It's just a cute card. I don't know why. I always liked him. I only got two more here. Some Death Star Commander. That was just one of those like generic names they came up with for a character because they didn't know what to call him. So they're like,
He used to be called Death Squad Commander, and then later on they were like, "That's pretty dark," and then I
yeah,
think they called him Star Destroyer Commander after that.
yeah.
Which one is he? I can't.
Oh,
see
this
your
is
screen.
Star Destroyer Commander. That's right. But he was Death Squad
Death
Commander.
Squad
You're right.
Commander. Like Jesus.
I like it. The
It's the
picture
kid-
shows him in a black uniform, but they just went ahead and went gray for the figure. Just, yeah, why not? And this is another one of my favorite figures when I was a kid. I don't know why, but I just thought he was cool looking. It's the Imperial, what's his name? Just Imperial Commander, but it's Piet, Admiral Piet or whatever.
I had that guy
I think he's just
when
cool
I was
looking.
a kid. I had that
There's
guy.
another good offer on there. A Star Wars display arena. I didn't do that one. And you notice this is also an Empire card. All the others were Return of the Jedi cards. You see, I actually... My mic boom is in the way of the camera. It had a price sticker on it. I tried to take it off, and it... where am I? It just wrecked the card. Shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. Should have tried like alcohol or something.
I should have been drunk when doing it. You're right.
Yeah. That's when I do all my best work.
What you got?
All right, let's see. I don't know if I have any. I have a couple of Star Wars things, but I'm going to show you some non-Star Wars stuff because we went through a lot of Star Wars things. Here's a Freddy Krueger doll. Now, what's cool about this guy? This is one that got pulled off the market because
I can't
a lot
imagine
of toys
why.
got. Well, what I like about him is he was part of. I wonder if I can pull his little head off. He was part of a series called Max Effects.
Oh, I remember that. Where you could
And the
change
deal with Max Effects was
change the masks
he
and
was
stuff.
he was an effects expert.
Yeah.
So underneath all this stuff, he's just like a regular little action
Little
Jackson
Ken doll or something.
little doll. Yeah.
But you could put different costumes on him. I remember
Yeah,
that.
I don't know if the others came off. I had him in the box for a while, and finally I took him out. Just sorry about that. Finally, I took him out because I wanted to play with him, and he's so much cooler once you get him all dressed up in his Freddy stuff. Anyway, before that in the box, he's just Max Effects. He's just some weird little dude in a yellow T-shirt. That's not that exciting. But on the back of the box, it did have like, there's like one from Alien, things like that, and it had a whole carapace that you could put on Max Effects, and he'd look like the alien.
Well, that is neat. What other
But
costumes
it's
could
actually
you get for
when
him?
he's all dressed up. I don't think you could get those. I'm trying to think of what the other one was because I don't think I think this was the first one, and I don't think they made any others because of the outcry for it.
Well, that's a shame because that's kind of a neat idea.
There's a man called Max, he's in the special effects. Special effects. Hey Fred, thought you were dead. Put your face on, Jason. Special effects. Special effects. Going werewolf to the caveman. Look so fine like Frankenstein. Special effects. Special effects.
Here's the little alien guy. Look at that guy. He looks like a Funko, but he's not. I don't know what he is. But
I like how they take something horrifying and just make it cute somehow.
that's my favorite thing in the world when you can do that, because then that just goes on my desk when that happens. This was a legit toy. He's little Jason. And there was a Freddy one I had too, but I don't have anymore. And these are water squirters.
Oh, weird. I've never seen that.
The weirdest thing about these...
Is that from the 80s or is that newer?
No, it's from the 80s, I think.
Oh,
or it would
weird.
have been the late 80s, maybe. I wonder if it says on it. Ooh,
I've never...
1989 is what it says in the back.
I've never seen those. That's interesting.
There was a Freddy one and a Jason one, and they came in 2-packs, but they didn't come in 2-packs together. This is the...
What did they come with?
This is where it gets... Yeah, it's where it gets less tasteful. Each of them came with a victim.
Oh, no.
So the Freddy one was just a guy like, with slashes across his face.
Yikes.
And the Jason one, I think, was just a dead guy. I'm trying to remember what wounds he would have had on, because they're just the head, but he was just a dead guy.
Do you remember Mad Balls?
Yeah.
Do you have any of those? I'd like to
I
see.
don't think I ever had any of those.
I'd like to see some of those. I had one of them that I still have that's a ripoff. It wasn't Mad Balls. It was some other thing, but it was a ripoff.
Oh, yeah.
But I wonder if those are collectible. Probably. Everything I look up on eBay, I'm like, oh, I remember that. And I look at it.
Garbage pail, kids.
$500.
That's a fortune.
What the hell?
Yeah. Here's another guy. Let's see.
Twinkie.
And he is a... Let's see if we can...
Oh, he walks?
He might not.
Oh, his head turns? That is cool. That's actually pretty neat. It's kind of a retro toy, even from that time. It kind of looks like one of those old 50s wind-up robot guys. The tin toys, I guess.
I kind of remembered there being a cooler, large-size figure of Twinkie, but if there was, I never saw it again. outside of my childhood because I remember looking, and this was the one I found, which I like, but his legs are kind of wonky, so it's hard to make him stand up because he's got those little
He
half
was a cool
legs.
design for a robot. I like that he
I love
carried
Tweaky,
Doctor, whatever his name
Doctor
was,
Theopolis. Yeah.
on his chest. Like he was basically, his function was just to carry around the smarter robot.
Well, in that society, all the smarter robots ruled everything.
It's kind
Here's
of an
another cool one.
interesting concept. Is that a phaser?
Yeah.
Is that a remote control? I feel like you had one at some
No,
point.
I did have one that was remote control. I don't know where that is now, but this is just the regular toy, and I think it works. It just doesn't have batteries.
It's an actual phaser?
It's a real phaser.
Nice.
Good thing the batteries are gone.
That's how they don't have murder problems in Star Trek because they just disintegrate the bodies. There's no residue left.
I know. They're like, I don't know what happened.
He was in
And
here a
that's
minute
that.
ago. Oh,
Here's
that's
another
cool. Yeah.
Classic wind-up. Yeah, this guy works.
Is he made to look vintage or is he an actual vintage guy?
I think he's made to look vintage. Like,
Yeah.
he's a Japanese import, I think. But he's not from, like, the 60s or
Is that the
something.
day the Earth stood still?
Yeah, that's Gort right there.
That doesn't look at all like Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
What a terrible sculpt.
We don't talk about the remake. Day There Stood Still, the original, is like one of the best movies ever made.
Mm-hmm. Almost as good as the remake. I'm teasing.
Not so much. I do love me some Canoe.
I tried watching
All right.
Constantine the other night, and
I actually like Constantine.
it's okay, but man, like Canoe is so wooden. They keep trying to get him to play Wolverine and stuff. I'm like, don't do that, man. He's okay as John Wick because it's kind of a weird wooden character.
I think he's kind of a good. If you're going to reinterpret, like, that's a different interpretation of the character than what appeared in the comics. But I think if you're going to do a different interpretation, I think he's fine. I thought that I was actually pretty happy with that movie, and they say they're going to make a sequel now. They've been kicking it around
Yeah, and he wants to
now
play
that
in it.
J.J.
again.
Abrams is in the Dark Universe or whatever. DC's Dark Universe, not to be confused with Universal Studios' attempted Dark. Everybody who ever tried to make something and call it the Dark Universe, it failed almost immediately. So, just bear that in mind, guys.
Like, is Sandman going to be part of it? Because Constantine's in Sandman. I mean, are they going to
Well,
cast a different actor for that? Is that going to be different continuity?
Sandman won't be a part of it because Sandman was probably going to be connected to some of that stuff at one point when Joseph Gordon-Levitt was developing his movie with Warner. But then Warner decided that they would throw all their horror stuff to New Line. And New Line, well, if it's like a horror picture, we'll just make it a horror picture. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt was like, I'm just going to leave. I don't have a confidence that anybody here cares about the source material. So I'm not going to be the one to screw it up. But the good news on that is that Warner basically lost all confidence in doing Sandman and licensed it out to Netflix. So it's
Yeah,
going to be a Netflix
the
TV
new
show.
thing's looking or sounding
Looks
good
like
to
it's
me.
going to be good. Yeah, Neil Gaiman's very heavily involved with it. I think it's going to be fun. Here's a couple guys for you. Because I showed you my 90s style R2-D2, and this is the actual vintage.
Oh, yeah.
You can see
Nice.
how he's got a little bit of the silver left, but a lot of it has flaked off. And he's not just the large size one. He really is the remote control. But
Oh,
I don't
cool.
believe
I never
he
had
works
that
at
as
all.
a kid. That's something I always thought was awesome and didn't have.
Yeah, because it's like having your own real robot. That's
Yeah.
what was cool about it.
I was a
And
sucker
then
for
I had the
anything with
large
lights
size.
on it. Oh, that's cool.
There's large size 3PO. Who looks pretty cool. His little head knob, if you're a collector, this little head knob right here is what always breaks off. And it's broken off of this one too.
I've got
So if
some
you're
of
really
the
looking for one that's in good condition, you want him to have his little head ball intact.
I've got some of the large vintage figures too. I'll break those out one day. Got to go to
Those are
to the
fun. Yeah, I've got a
basement and get
couple
'em.
others, so we can look at those too. 'Cause I've got like a Darth Vader and a Stormtrooper too. But obviously the regular characters were not interesting to have because they really were just like Barbie and Ken dolls.
I feel like I have a Boba Fett, and it was kind of weird because you could see through his eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had that when I was a kid, but I just literally threw it up in the air until it broke.
Well,
When you're a
that's
kid,
what it's
just
for.
What you do.
That's what it's
Just
for.
wrecked it.
I have no
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I have no regrets about wrecking any of my toys as a kid
Oh,
because
man,
that's what they're for, and that's why we like them now. Because we had fun
And we
with them.
find as adults we can just rebuy them.
Yeah,
Like
that's why
they may cost more now, but if you really want a Boba Fett, go get
the
one.
reason I buy these, or used to buy these dudes, is because it's nostalgic for me, and it's nostalgic because I played with them, not because I thought they were cool looking on a shelf when I was a kid, like I do now. You know.
Here's another cool Freddy thing. Also made for actual children to play with. This is the
I mean,
Talking
what were they thinking?
Freddy. Let's see if I can get.
Does it have ages on there? Like,
Yeah, ages 3 and up.
no, that is ridiculous. Who came up with that?
Let's see what he says.
What does he
Can you
say?
hear that?
Welcome to hell? Is that what he said?
That said Pleasant Dreams. He said welcome to Elm Street at
Oh,
first.
Elm Street. I thought he said welcome to hell.
Let's see. Let's see. Just that weird.
3 and up. They've never been around a child if they think that's appropriate. That's horrible.
That's my favorite. Hi, I'm Freddy.
Did that stay in the stores for long? I hope not.
Probably not. Ugh.
Yeah,
That
I mean,
one he
what are
just
they
says, "Let's
thinking?
be friends." Oh my lord.
Makes me sad.
What a 3-year-old needs most of all is just a giant-sized doll of a child molester that talks and says,
With a burned face and claws.
"Hi, I'm Freddy."
Oh my gosh! No wonder we're so messed up.
Disconnect in the '80s was pretty severe. Do you have any other stuff?
No, that's all I broke out. It's a short one for me.
Let's see. I got a couple more things. We'll get it by quick. Let people have this. This is not a licensed anything. This was just a Sonic phaser.
It's licensed awesome.
Yeah, it's very cool. It doesn't work at all, but if you can see on the side, it has all these little settings like mass invert, amplify, blah, blah, blah. So it made all different noises. And the amplify one, when you had that turned on, there's a little microphone right here. And when you held it down on amplify, it would amplify your voice.
Oh, man.
So this was really the toy of choice for parents.
Yeah, I bet they loved it. You should get that fixed. That's pretty neat.
So
that's kind of cool, actually. I'd like to see how that sounds.
Let's see. What else? One more thing here. Andy had commented on a couple of things that he had as a kid, and it reminded me of some things in my...
Oh, yeah, the old Star Wars Topps cards.
Yeah, I do have some tops. Like, very first page here, you can see there's Lando right there.
Yeah, nice.
From Empire. See that nice Scotch tape all the way down? That stays there forever now.
Yeah, you knew how to keep cards in mint shape.
Well, this Christmas 1980 means that I was 8.
Good Lord.
So
you actually kept scrapbooks. That's kind of interesting. I've never met a child who did that.
Well, I never did anything for very long on this. I'm pretty sure I had ADHD when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But look at that.
We all have HD now, Sean. It's standard.
Yeah. You had AD4K.
I like those Valentines.
Can you see what that is? Because it's got a...
Is that a X-Wing?
Oh, it's coming out.
I can't see what it is, no.
Hold up. Well, its little tape is gone. It's a Burger King Everybody Wins game card.
That's kind of neat. Is that a licensed X-Wing? It looks weird.
Yeah, it's from Empire Strikes Back.
Okay. How cool is that?
It's a game card. I guess I can put that on something else since the tape has disintegrated.
What you could do is scratch it off and take it back to Burger King and try to trade it in.
You owe me millions. This little Boba Fett obviously just came on the back of something.
I think it's sweet you kept your Valentines.
Yeah, well, that was a big deal.
What were those? What are those? Just like pieces of tape? It looks like there's nothing there.
They look like bingo pieces. I don't know. Let's see. Well, this is a Kennedy $50, but that clearly fell out.
Oh.
But
maybe they were
these
coins.
Are piggy bank chips.
Okay.
That I got at the pig. I guess Piggly Wiggly, maybe.
Why not?
I can barely read. As a practically illiterate child.
I'm still practically illiterate, as you can tell when you listen to me read the comics on these.
There's an underoos tag. I put this.
Why would you cut the tag out of your underwear and put it in your scrapbook?
I put this in to say that I had Yoda underoos. So this isn't just any.
I want to
It's
document
from
this
the
moment
Yoda.
for
You
posterity.
guys,
It's for history. It's important.
that's it right there. Irrefutable proof that I once had the Yoda underoos. Let's see.
Nobody can take that away from you now, man.
Mm-hmm. No one but time. Here's the thing from the Empire States Building. Bunch of weird, some baseball cards. I think we've talked about those random baseball cards that you just have.
Got any like Mickey
They're
Mantle
all
rookies in there?
Yes, there's a Mickey Mantle rookie right here.
Nice.
But with Scotch tape all the way down the front. Travelodge Daytona. Here's the thing that I was interested in because Andy had said that he wanted this projector thing, and I don't know if this is the same thing, but it made me. It reminded me I had this when I was a kid, where it was like a gun, and then you would put a disc in it, and basically as flashlight, and then you would put a translucent disc in it.
Kind of like a view. What do they call them?
Well, it was supposed to project onto the wall, and I thought that's so cool because it looks so big on the picture. And then you do it, and it'd be like that big on the wall.
Where were those things you put the circular slides in and you ViewMaster?
You're talking about ViewMaster.
Yeah, so it were they slides, I guess? The discs you put in?
It's a wishbone.
That's what happens when you have Freddy toys. It's like, start keeping bones.
Gross. There's a little black ochre surrounding it. Like,
oh my god!
I'm gonna wash it first. Now this is Gordon from
Making
Sesame
me very
Street.
uncomfortable.
We met him at the mall.
Oh wow!
And got his autograph.
I mean, was he just had pictures with him, or was it like an event?
It was a thing at the mall.
Okay, it's like he met him at the mall. Like, oh, you pulled his picture 8x10 out of your pocket.
Everywhere.
I was waiting to run into you.
Every time someone ran up to him, like, here you go, run along.
I have a collection of them on me at all times. Well, that's neat.
So that's some of our weird stuff. I'm gonna have to put that in the hutch now. That's kind of cool.
I like some of the stuff you pull out because, like, I just show comics or whatever, but you show like interesting, weird stuff.
Well, the benefit of having moved is going through all these boxes. This is the stuff that I just run into. I'm like, oh wow, that's cool.
We'll be able to make these episodes for years because I have, an entire basement of stuff that I can barely get to, and I will get to one day. So let us know if you guys are interested in any of this, and if not, we'll probably keep doing it for fun anyway. But I would like to any encouragement you have would be great, or any suggestions.
Yeah. I'll run out of the low-hanging fruit pretty soon. But here's novelizations of the Freddy movies.
Nice. Me and Andrew, who is also a TV Ate My Dinner guy, we played in a band with this guy named Scott. And one of his favorite movies was Cable Guy. And we used to always have fun quoting it and stuff because it's such a stupid movie, And me and Andrew went to Goodwill during a lunch break once at our work. And we found the Cable Guy novelization. I was like, I didn't know Cable Guy had a novelization. I didn't even know they still did that because that's the kind of thing they did in the 80s when we were kids. Like a lot of the movies had novelizations.
There's a viable tie-in back then.
But I was like, in the 90s, they were making novelizations of comedies? That's weird.
Comedy movies.
Okay.
We used to have a friend in college who would read the novelizations from movies and think that he read the book the movie came from.
Really? I don't remember this guy.
He'd be watching Dragonheart, and he'd be like, that's not the way it happened in the books. Like, that book is based on the movie. This is not a thing that comes from a thing.
We won't mention any names, but you can tell me off recording because I don't remember who that is.
I'm shocked you can't just guess.
Well, I'm not going to guess on the recording.
No, I don't think so because, he's probably one of our 17 subscribers.
But I also, somewhere, I used to have a Mork and Mindy novel. And it was the pilot of the show. And it was the weirdest thing.
I have an A-team like that. We'll have to break out some of this because now you're making me... I would get a Mork figure.
Oh, yeah?
In the hutch. Used to be ones... I wish I could find it because I used to have that when I was a kid, but it was a figure. And he came with the egg spaceship.
Oh, that's cool.
And you would open it up. but it was a blister card figure. It just was that whole big deal. And I remember that came out, and we all had one when I was a kid.
I never had that.
I think I got this one off eBay, but it didn't have the egg with it. Must have been made by Mattel, because if you look at the body on it, it's the same mold as the Battlestar Galactica figures, like the same boots.
No,
and
they used to do
everything.
that a lot. You know what's fun is if you ever see the Robin Hood movie that came out in the 90s, the Kevin Costner movie.
Oh yeah,
Had action figures, but they were some of the sets and figures from Star Wars. Like the Friar Tuck or whoever was the Gamorrean guard's body. And the
he
playset.
was the only one you could do that with, because the figures were larger size than Star Wars figures. I guess Gamorreans are just larger.
I don't know. But the playset was the Ewok village. And it's kind of neat because they just changed the leaves around and stuff, but it's real recognizable. It's kind of neat. Kind of an interesting side thing to collect. But I wanted to say about the Mork and Mindy thing that for some reason there was a scene in it that always stuck with me. And I know it's of all the weird things to read and have stuck, but he was in a hospital or something, and they were testing him, trying to figure out what he was, and they gave him a puzzle that had, shapes in it, like squares and rectangles and, pieces he had to put in to match the shapes. And he was able to put like a square into a circle that was smaller than that. And they're like, what, this isn't possible. He's like, well, it is. Your geometry just isn't as advanced as ours. I was like, what an interesting idea. That you can do things that we can't conceive of just by knowing nicer geometry.
To find out that book was written by Alan Dean Foster, like the Star Wars one.
I'm going to have to look for it now. I really doubt I still have it, but I may have to eBay that just to read it again.
Funny.
Anywho,
you'll find out it's worth $3,000 on eBay.
Probably. I'm going to sell everything I own at this rate, because everything I have is worth more than it should be, in my opinion. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Check out TV8MyDinner.com. Check out TV Ate My Dinner on YouTube. Check out Sean's book on Amazon, The Cosmic Unconscious.
Yes, look for The Cosmic Unconscious on Amazon.
By Sean Gilbert. I guess we always just say the title.
Should have to say that.
Yeah, there might be other Cosmic Unconsciouses on Amazon that they're looking for, and they're like,
That's true.
This is an erotic dinosaur novel.
That's like when people, I read The Myth Awakens and it's garbage. It's like, there was another guy that did a book with the same name. Yeah. Mine came out first.
Shut up. I don't know.
I haven't had a chance I'm going to rename it, but I haven't had a chance to retool it.
All right, kiddos. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more episodes of this and other things we do. And until then, we'll see you later. My name's Brooks.
I'm Sean.
Bye-bye.
Snoop.